All right. Here we are. Drawing some streetwear today. Let me just set up the stream properly. Why, hello. Today I figured we'd just do our warm-ups by getting in here, finding some streetwear outfits, locking in some loose figures, and then maybe analyzing some shape breakdowns, some fashion shape breakdowns. That's kind of it. That's kind of all I got. I'm often a little bit in two moods as to whether or not I want to place the reference in the image for you guys to see. Got some Harajuku images here I like. Can always count on Japanese fashion enthusiasts to dress well. All right. And then I think the name of the game for me today is to simplify and not overcomplicate. Angle to the head. And then she's standing like pretty straight. I'm feeling a little less tired this morning, which is great. really went for those golden 8 hours of sleep today. I think I managed like 7.5, 7:45. Not too far off. Cool. Say that's our underlying form. We'll have, later on, we'll have tension points. And we'll have folds and bunching. But today I'm trying to understand not just the way that the fabric folds, but also the cut of it and why it has its specific graphic shapes. So this step 2 has importance to me. That's what I want to think about today. And it's a lot of like big, medium, small, right? With the color blocking. This jacket is the big in the outfit. This patterned dress I read as the medium. Also because the same sort of patterning is reflected in the shoes. The black bits I would almost consider another medium, or you could call that the small, or a small. But then my point is the actual proper small in this outfit would be these bits of red, these accent bits of red. But here's what we'll do. We'll make it part of the medium, but we'll make like a separation within the medium. There you go. And then this would be like a classic, just about 60-30-10. It's one of the classic breakdowns of numbers, breakdowns of ratios you'll hear when talking about big, medium, small. So let's do that then over top of my little sketch. I kind of want to emphasize the opening of the collar. I think that's a really cool statement in this outfit. And then if we do that, I would also just extend the coat just a little bit further down. And then I want to try to verbalize this outfit. Try and see if I don't if I can understand it verbally, I'm way more likely to remember it and be able to reconstruct it another time for like a character. So this is like a big but relatively short, off the shoulder trench coat. Or maybe it's not short, it's just like worn in a way that makes it crawl up the figure. Yeah, I think that's it. So it's a big trench coat with the collar so open that reveals the shoulders. Then she's wearing a patterned dress that peeks out both above and below. Which is smart, right? Because then that's the same pattern for the color blocking. And then finally, it's little saturated accents. Specifically sunglasses, a choker, and a belt strap. Yo, wait, that's so sick. I didn't catch that at all. This strap here is the choker? That's so cool. That is such a cool piece of clothing, or way to wear a piece of clothing. I mean, it could be that she's just really matching, but it really looks like that just goes up and forms the choker she's wearing around the turtleneck. I like the shape to the sleeve, where it starts out quite wide, and then like a biceps tapering into the forearm. It suddenly starts to narrow. Man, I should look at more Harajuku fashion. I'm really fucking with this. What a couple of outfits, man. And it seems like they painted the trench coats. No, wait, they didn't. It is the same pattern on the trench coats. Could have been that they hand painted whatever it was. It could still be, but seems less likely now that I can see that it's actually the same pattern. Two purses? No, a purse and a phone. Okay. That as well is kind of like my kind of ridiculousness. If you're like carrying two purses. Feels like kind of the same vibe as wearing like 3 belts or whatever. Cool. Pants leave a little bit of ankle coming through, which is smart because then you get some more small shapes. Oh, I know this isn't in the outfit, but I really want to blow up the size of the sunglasses. Hair, man, hair is one of those things that I just don't know enough about. Like, I have no idea how to style hair with an outfit. I mean, it's probably the same as anything else where it's just important to have either a good sense of contrast or a good sense of coherence, depending on how much contrast you have in the face area already. Like if you're kind of lacking something to pull the attention to the face, you have super contrasty hair. If the face is interesting enough as is, probably just go with like a sense of coherence. Okay. Lay in the dress. And I'm going slightly smaller on my dress shape. Just because I'm like, maybe I can enhance the big, medium, small just a little bit. Oh, I see. Okay, but definitely a reference on the canvas sort of moment here. If I'm doing like detailed reference breakdowns. And then maybe if I'm just using reference for a piece, makes more sense to just have it off to the side for me. These shoes are crazy too, right? It's sandals! That's so wild. She's wearing socks and sandals to get the patterning she wants to match the dress. That's wild. And then when you look at it, the sandals kind of blend in enough. That it just kind of looks like one shape at the bottom. Okay, okay. And then I want to just quickly put in the color breakdown. Let's see, 8:37. How quickly can we do this? Right. 60 is the trench coat, 30 is the black and the patterning. Don't need to clean that. This is about how long the drawing I did yesterday should have taken. Just about this long, just about well, I guess it's taken half an hour still, so. But I want to see if we can't also get through a couple more. Cool. It's the skin. Skin's tricky here. It's like, it's kind of like another small in the shape ratios. Like she's not showing a lot of skin. She just has the face, hand, ankles. Of course, that messes up all our numbers because it can't be 60, 30, 10, and then another 10. Cool. Now we just paint in a sense of texture here. A sense of pattern. There we go. Oh. There we go. Right, and then the sandals, the shoe area, part of the same sort of texture paradigm. Hair is plain. I think that's a smart and strategic choice. Well, it's relatively plain. But in that sense, it's kind of matching the coat. Cool. Wallet's black. Matching your medium. And then let's put in the small. The red. Sunglasses too, and lips. Cool. And then I'm like, how do I understand the use of patterns and graphics in here? Because there's definitely something going on with that too. And like little color accents on the trench coat here. Gold is also an important accent color. you can see all the little metal bits or like tertiary shapes are actually golden or like brown. Except her earring, that's interesting. Would have expected, right? That to be gold as well. Cool. Let's look just for patterns. It's a very patterned outfit. So we don't have patterns near our focal points. Her face obviously is devoid of patterns. Other than being, you know, a face. I guess that's a pattern. Kind of its own pattern. But like the trench coat is very patterned, the dress is very patterned. Then you run out of pattern in this area. This very focal pointy area, the face. And you run out of pattern for a little bit near the shoes, which also calls attention there. And what's really brilliant as well is the connection from the trench coat to the dress. The collar is like an area of rest, unpatterned as well. So I would say pattern versus plain is like an 80-20 statement. And big, big, medium, small is like a 60-30-10 sort of relationship. This is like a good this is like a good I pretend I know things sort of image. Or I guess what I'm trying to say is this is like a good come watch my stream. I have information to convey sort of image. Because like, oh look, you gotta keep these things in mind, and then look at these numbers. I swear they mean something. It's very let me teach you something core. Okay. Study 1. At least one more. It would be nice to get 2 more in. I've always really liked this image. This image specifically, I've seen on Pinterest a couple times. And it's pretty cool. Let's find out why. And I have the third reference if we have time as well. You are not counting today. Program this one. Sick. Okay, let's just get like the gesture in there first. Lower these shoulders, man. Anyway, shape analysis. Let's do one more of these guys. $60 would be jacket plus pants. I know they're different shapes, but they're the same sort of group. They're the same material, color, texture group. Sorry, I have beef with this leg that I drew over here. Come on. All right, we'll squash the beef for now, but this isn't over. Don't think yourself safe. Lower leg. Okay. That would be my 60 shape. Then just the white or the plain, like the eggshell shapes, would be my 30. And it's really nice, really smart to have like a hoodie contrast your hair color, contrast your face, because it gives these nice thin contrasty shapes right in your focal point. Yeah, shoes are part of the same group. Section here, fabric hanging out here. I'm not sure how to understand like the, is that a Gucci bag? Is that a Gucci bag? I don't know. Probably isn't, right? But the 10 to me, wait, actually let's look at this without the, yeah, because her hair and her lipstick are kind of the same. They're the same color as the 60 group, but they're just small enough shapes placed in locations that makes them smart, that make them part of the small group, that make them smart. The choker is a small shape. His necklace and the patterned shirt is a small shape. The bag is a little tricky to me because it doesn't really belong in the small shape group. Maybe that's where it belongs most. Because it is like a piece of breaking up the big and medium shapes. And here I'd say skin feels like it's like a secondary medium. Yeah. 60, 30, 10, classic breakup. I'd say that's probably about there. Looks like a Just Dance character. It actually hella looks like a Just Dance character now. And then like detail rest, my breakdown would be detail, detail, detail in the face, technically the shoes probably, and then like rest, legs, right here there's a bit of rest, the shirt, the neck. So it's kind of like a 60-30, no 70-30 detail to rest split. Okay, that's the analysis. The hoodie just feels really smart. It's good. It's nice to have a plain hoodie with such a detailed jacket. And it's a really nice thin shape to have outlining the focal point. Reiterating statements here is just as much so I learn it. Something interesting you could do is you could do the same kind of shape breakdown, big, medium, small shape breakdown analysis that I'm doing to the outfit as a whole. You could do that to her jacket. You could do that to the pants. Like there's blue is a big shape, green is a medium, this white stripe on the side is a small. These same ideas of shape appeal, like I put it the other day, they're fractal. Like Simon put it the other day, they're little micro compositions that also work on their own. Her arms are like way wider than I drew them, I think. Is that true? Maybe not. It's hard to tell where the arms are falling in the... I'm having a hard time telling and knowing where these arms are falling in the sleeves. Anyway, guess I don't need to know. Just kind of draw the shapes and that's fine. If we were to TP Choi mannequinize these legs, we would have a separate bit of knee geometry. Separate bit of knee. Separate shape for the knee, and then from there we'd start the thigh. Which actually kills the flow a little bit in this case. I think for me, it generally works better to try and segment the limb. If nothing else, you can always like merge it back together later, but it helps me in the moment think of, well, what's the gesture for this bit of the thigh specifically? What's then the gesture for this bit of the leg? What's the gesture for the ankle? And I feel like I maybe get a bit more contrast and a bit more flow throughout the gesture. Than when I just attack the leg as being one thing. I don't know, something I'm working on, something I'm thinking about lately. Splitting gesture into sort of separate tasks. Okay, now I'm noodling drapery. There's no reason for me to be noodling drapery right now. Whoa, bro can't draw 4 straight lines in a row. And then I go silent and big-eyed because I'm focusing. It's that thing about trying to put in like a simplified face once instead of having to sit and noodle with it forever because you didn't do it properly the first time. That might be fine. We'll see when we add color. Cool. Just quickly do the breakdown on the jacket and the sleeves. Big lower part of the left sleeve, small top of the left sleeve, and it's the same on the right. Big lower part, small top segment. Big middle section of the jacket, medium bottom section. And then the pockets are like the big shapes of those individual sections. It's a well big, medium, small jacket, this one. We'd love to see it. Pocket as a whole is big. Split it into medium, small. There you go. Cool. Quick locals. Just using what we know. Oh, right. Plain is the medium in the color breakup. Plain white. Pacifically. I think sometimes I've been overwhelmed by this reference because there's so many colors going on. Makes a lot more sense what we did now, where it's just like, well, yes, there's a lot of colors going on, but the areas where there are a lot of colors going on, that's one group. The pieces of clothing made up by a lot of colors are one group. The red is kind of crazy, and the red is maybe crazy enough that that becomes like a group of its own, honestly. Because this shape, that shape right there, is drawing so much attention. Like when you zoom out, that's like a primary focal point, right? It's only because there's a face here that we care more to look there. And the blue's a little darker. Oh, not inverted, but darker. More like indigo, purpley. It's gotta be Gucci, right? The belt is Gucci too. You wouldn't mismatch fashion brands. You wouldn't wear a Gucci belt with a Dolce & Gabbana purse. You wouldn't download a car. What's going on? I see, I see. Anyway. That brilliant little white stripe here. Brilliant and brilliant. It's very common. It just really works. It's just a nice small shape to put on a pant leg. Man, this jacket is so cool. Something about how the same motif and like some like sci-fi graphic element or modern graphic element is mirrored, but it looks so different and interesting because it's like it's just on different backdrops, but different color backdrops. So the interactions look different. Cool. Shirt. There's some chains going on here too. And then skin tone. Very blue hair. And then, if you ask me, it's pretty important as well that the background has this, just has a tone to it. Huh? Oh. There you go. Because that's how we get that tiny shape of white framing the hair, framing the face that I was ranting about. Soft brown. Cool. I think we largely understood the assignment. It's a fun edge to lose, the chin. I don't do that a lot. Anyway. Look at it a little bit. Look at it, make sure that the shirt here is patterned or has a graphic on it that we can tell. Cool. Yeah. And so, yeah, the big point is that all of this noise here in the jacket, that's one block. That's one block. Probably could. Oh, I have coffee. Give me a sec. Probably could thin down this side of the hoodie just a little bit. And what was our detail block in? Like a 70-30 details? Details to rest. Your detail too. Detail, 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 detail. Detail, 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 detail. Detail the rest. And I like that a lot. The most common strat, I think, is still to do 70-30 rest detail. But there's something about letting the rest be your lower number in the ratio that's really interesting to me. 60-30-10. And I don't know, it's just like a and that's not because I really like detail. That's because I really like that where your eye goes in this image. It's like a nice rest. You're not stressed looking at the area where you're supposed to look. It's nice and restful, right? Where when you make and I don't know what colors to use. Let's just use the blue and the red. And the red is so much, man. Cyan? Put the green up here? No. It could work. Or just like a dark cyan. Nah, blue. Anyway, this is not the point. I'll get to the point in a second. Point is that when you make and it's not like a problem. It's not like an illegal thing you can't do. It's just a different feeling is all I'm trying to say. And then let's maybe dial that down just a little bit. Make it look more like tattoos. When you make detail your point of interest, it works just fine. And this is like a pushed version of that. Normally you don't need this much detail. But the focal point, the spot where you want to look, becomes a point of more visual tension. Different read also works, but there's something nice, there's something really pleasing to me about having the rest space be the focal point. Because then when you get to your focal point, it's just like a nice space visually to hang out, rather than like a super intense space visually to hang out. Just different strats is all. Intense space to hang out, also, I'd say appealing. Relaxed space to hang out. Oh, and then I gotta do this. If I want to make this demonstration. Detail 30, rest 70. And then this is like an intense but also appealing space to hang out. And this is like a very restful, chill space to hang out visually. Yeah. Let's see if we can't quickly side by side these, make a piece of content out of it. Edit. Canvas size. Pull you along. And the first outfit's really nice as well. Just get rid of the guy. Not interested in the guy. Cool. So here are the studies we did today, the outfit studies. And we talked the other day about when you draw drapery, you want to do underlying form, tension points, folds, and bunching. In terms of designing or drawing new outfits, putting outfits together, this would be like our 1A, or it's it would lie between that 1 and that 2. Is you design some graphic shapes, and then you can go in and draw your tension points and your folds and bunching. And so when you design your graphic shapes, when you design your color blocking, just think about big, medium, small. I found these 2 Harajuku images that I studied this morning, and gotta put it into place here. found these images to study, and my big point was to let's find the relationships of big, medium, small, and detail to rest in these images. So here is my big, medium, small relationship for this reference. Coat is big, dress is medium, red color accents are small. And it shook out to this detail to rest relationship of, where did I put that? Well, this detail to rest relationship of 80 to 20. She's like 80% patterned and detailed, and then she's like 20% more plain and restful. Right? The turtleneck is plain, her face is more restful, these pants are more restful. And these are a set of really appealing ratios to use in your outfit design. Then we studied this reference as well this morning. And feels a little bit more overwhelming maybe, but it isn't. Just group places where there's like a lot of color, a lot of noise. That can be one group. So the jacket and the pants here are one group. They're my big group, the 60 group. 30 would be the plain shirt, her skin tone, and then 10 is small details like the belt. Sorry, there you go. And then you get this big, medium, small relationship in like appealing percentages as well. And then there's always like an offset ratio. There's always an offset ratio in detail versus rest as well. So you want to look at either the detail or the rest. Here again, the focal point is restful, her face, her plain shirt. And so in this case, I wrote as well, it's like 70% detail and noise to 30% rest, which is where we want to look. So when blocking in your outfits, when color blocking your outfits, think about big, medium, small, 60, 30, 10, and think about detail versus rest. Maybe a 70, 30 or an 80, 20. Sick. We milked the heck out of that. I don't think I have time for another study. We have 15 minutes. These took a bit each. So I think I will just end the stream here, and then I will see you this evening. Have a good one.